Can we talk for a minute about our Integrating Heart and Mind workshop?
Absolutely. I'm excited. It's coming up in the fall of 2024.
I'm so excited. We changed the format to make it more accessible to people with like work schedules and personal schedules. And so this time we're going to do it 3 hours on a Friday afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at, and 5 hours on Saturday for 2 different weeks in September.
Yeah, it's so great. Like if you're finding yourself stuck in like sticky bad patterns or having communication issues or something like that, or if you want to just like get closer and trust yourself or your partner more, this is the workshop for you.
Yeah, and individuals are welcome, couples are welcome. If you're interested in really thinking through how to serve yourself well inside of your relationships, then we've built a workshop that will support you in finding the ways that are just right for you.
To sign up, head over to our website at whydoesmypartner.com/events.
We hope you'll join us.
Join us for our exciting new workshop, Integrating Mind and Heart, a brain-savvy workshop that transforms your relationships. It's this September 2023, and in this workshop, we'll help you explore what holds you stuck and to understand and experience how your wildly efficient brain moves fast to protect you when you sense danger.
The skills and tools we cover in this workshop will help you develop practices that support your capacity to spend more time in those integrated states that promote relational connection.
And when you put it all together, integrating all these new skills and practices will help you to explore more ease in your relationships, even in the sticky, hard moments that can derail an evening, a week, or even an entire relationship. If you want to get closer, say the things that usually go unspoken, and trust each other and yourself, this is the workshop for you. Learn more and register at whydoesmypartner.com/events. Welcome to the Why Doesn't My Partner podcast.
I'm Jules.
I'm Vickey.
And I'm Rebecca. We're your hosts. We're also couples therapists and messy humans bumbling through our own relationships every day.
We met through our training and practice of relational life therapy. Between us, we have more than 40 years of experience holding hard relational questions with our clients. We're going to bring those questions here.
And together, we're going to take a stab at answering those questions. This podcast is not a substitute for therapy.
If something you hear in this episode stirs something deep within you about your relationship, reach out to a couples therapist in your area.
We also love to hear your questions, so don't forget to go over to whydoesmypartner.com and leave us a question of your own. Here's today's question.
Why does my partner not see that they're hypocritical and that their behaviors are hypocritical? So they expect that I do something and then they go and do the quite opposite and then don't make the correlation and then justify and say it's completely two different things. They're not making the connection and they totally dismiss that it's being hypocritical.
Well, they probably see it differently than you do.
Yeah.
Chances are good. I was just thinking like the nature of hypocrisy is that it is blind. So if I'm being hypocritical,
that fascinates me.
I probably have no idea that I'm being hypocritical. Let me say this differently. When I am being hypocritical, I am completely unaware of that fact. So there is that.
There is that.
But even once, yeah.
I'm just thinking like it's so hard to admit when we're doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That vulnerability piece again.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It is so hard to admit that. And so if I'm calling you on something and I'm calling you to like grow or change something or, look at a part of you, and then you try to like turn that around on me.
Yeah.
Like there's a sting in there.
Right. Well, there's something, what you're talking about taking turns.
Mm-hmm.
So in general, when asking for something, I recommend taking turns. So like if one person asks for something and then the other one asks for the exact same thing at the exact same time, it can feel a little tit for tat sort of thing.
Sure.
And can get into feeling like we're in some sort of power competition or influence competition or something like that. So,
right. And the person who asked first doesn't necessarily feel heard.
Right. Exactly. And and that what I'm hearing though in this question is that this is maybe an ongoing issue.
Yeah.
Like this cell phone thing you were saying, Vicky, like, get off your cell phone. You're on your cell phone all the time. Well, you're on your cell phone.
You're on yours.
Totally.
So like, it's hypocritical. Don't ask me to make a change that you're not willing to make as well.
Totally. Right. So, so what I was thinking about though, so there's this U-turn that we can offer. If your partner says that you're hypocritical, you could just take that in as interesting information that may be true. Because if you are being hypocritical, chances are you're blind to it. So it'd be great to listen to that. And
I'm laughing because my husband is blind to it.
Oh, he should listen to this episode. He's really good at telling you how you're wrong about him being hypocritical, huh?
He's going to listen to this and say, like, no, I'm not. So there's that.
Totally.
He's really good at telling me all the reasons why his behaviors are not the same as my behaviors. Very logical.
He sees it very
and it makes sense when he explains it that way. Yes, he is.
He does.
He does.
But
yes,
that doesn't mean you're wrong. You're still right about him being hypocritical, right?
Yes.
Of course. Of course.
I mean, so much of this is about needing to be right. It's about the different realities that we have, right?
Right. It's about...
Yes. But it is about both of those. And I liked how you just said both, because right before you said the reality, I was thinking that one too.
Yeah.
That we don't share realities.
Yeah.
A lot. Like that's most of the time that we're different people.
Yeah.
And so that's something we have to move through together on a regular basis. Which brings me to a U-turn that's on the other side of this. So the U-turn for somebody, if somebody tells you you're hypocritical, just know that's a thing that you're usually going to be blind to. And so maybe you should take that in as potential information. You don't have to take it in as absolutely true, but at least something to consider.
Yep.
Right. Don't automatically say it's not true and they're wrong. So that's a potential U-turn, but there's a U-turn on the other side. And that's, what is it that you really want? Like, do you want them to agree with you that they're being hypocritical? Do you want them to shift a behavior? And both are fine, but I probably am asking in a super different way. So if I'm wanting you to shift a behavior and I say, well, it's hypocritical that you do that, it's very unlikely I'm going to get what I want. What would be an easier way to do that would be to name the behavior and ask for an alternative, or tell them you'd like to talk about that. And you really need to be different because here's how it's affecting me. And, or is it that you want like them to say, you're right, I'm hypocritical. Maybe that's what you want, and that's fine. Maybe you want to share reality that way, right?
Yeah. But it's so interesting, Jules. I find really thinking about my own marriage as you're saying that. And what I'm really asking him in those moments is the change of behavior. And there's no need for me to even call it hypocritical and make it about me in that moment too.
That's right.
Which then does send him into defensiveness.
Right. If you want to start a fight, call someone hypocritical.
Yeah. Trust me.
Right. No, and I'm not saying that doesn't mean they should admit it. Maybe your partner seeing that your way of viewing this as valid is the most important thing, in which case go for that.
Yeah.
And tell them that that's what you're after and that that's important to you. There's nothing wrong with that.
To know what you're after though. Right.
That's right. So I'm asking for the U-turn to go, hey, what is it that you really want? I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I think we nailed what I thought was all three.
Well,
Change the behavior, acknowledge the hypocrisy, or stop asking me to do something you're not willing to do.
well, no, that's new. So you haven't said that yet. Say that.
I thought I did.
piece. No,
Oh.
you didn't say that.
Totally thought I
No,
did.
say that. What did you
yeah.
just say?
Stop asking me to make a change that you're not willing to make as well.
Mhm.
I get it. Gotcha. So I don't want to be expending more effort on this than you were
Yes.
expending. So if we're all going to not expend that much effort, then could we all just agree not to expend the damn effort already?
Yes. Like the cell phone. So it's don't tell me to get off my phone if you're still on yours just as much as well. It's a really good concrete example. I think that really resonates in today's world. And so that's the three, but that's why I'm saying too, that if I'm asking him to stop doing something, I don't need to bring me into it and say, you asked me to stop doing that last night, but now you're doing it today. I could just make the vulnerable request of, can you just stop this now, period, without lumping myself in.
Or you could go for the less effort. So you could say, like, the cell phone thing.
Oh, yeah.
The cell phone thing, right? So I'm noticing you're asking me to be not on my cell phone as much, but actually I'm noticing you really like to be on your cell phone. And I also really like to be on my cell phone. So could we make agreements about that being okay in a different way?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what
So
you mean by
what
less
you're
effort.
doing,
Yeah.
what you're
What is that
doing
less
there,
effort?
though, I mean, this is a key important piece there. In that example, what you're doing is you're not getting defensive.
Yeah.
Right? There's a piece of, like that trifecta we talk about: empathy, accountability, vulnerability. You're accountable in that moment,
Yeah.
and you're empathizing. Like, I hear that this is what you want from me. I am on my cell phone. You're on yours too. And can we make an agreement around this?
Actually,
right?
maybe
So-
we just like that.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
I'm thinking of that book, The All or Nothing Marriage. And the author's totally blown out of my brain right now. But it's this great book talking about, like, wait a second, you don't have to have everything amazing all the time. You could say it's cool to spend less effort in this area, and we want to spend more effort in this other area. Like, it's okay not to climb Mount Everest of your marriage every single goddamn day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But the piece here is, so here's what I'm really hearing is that if we're moving into talking about, like, why are we being hypocritical? We're already in that space where we're having a hard time seeing this part of ourselves, or our partner's having a hard time. So there's some defensiveness happening here. And so we need to be able to, right, there's that blindness. So in order to shift out of that blindness and either figure out, what does my partner need from me in this moment? Or are we sharing reality? Is there a behavioral change that we're asking for? Are we trying to go for the easy way in terms of, like, what do we both really enjoy? And can this just be okay?
Right.
No matter what we're doing in there, we're moving into a space of showing up and really, like, listening, like, what's happening, without moving into the space of the wall and the defensiveness or the kind of tuning out.
Yeah, exactly. So we have 2 U-turns on this question, one on each side.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Take good care.
Bye-bye.
Take care of each other best you can. That wraps up this week's episode. Join us again next week for another Why Does My Partner?
We hope that you continue to listen wherever you get your audio, and that you'll follow the show.
To go deeper, join us at our boot camp. You'll find the next date at whydoesmypartner.com.
Did you know you could ask us your question?
Your questions are relational gold.
Go to whydoesmypartner.com to either write in or record your question for a future episode.